It is a beautiful day for baseball here in St. Louis. Busch Stadium, it is game 2 of the 3-game series between the first-place Cardinals and the second-place Pittsburgh Pirates. The Buccos winning last night, so they've closed the gap. They are 5.5 back of the Redbirds in the National League Central Division. The Chicago Cubs trail the Pirates by 4 games for that top wild card spot. Greg Brown along with John Wehner for the middle game of this 3-game series. John, the Pirates get 17 hits last night and a 9-3 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals. Maybe a statement game for the Bucs.
I think it's huge to win this series, and I think they need to win this series to have a chance of winning the division. Now, all of a sudden, 5.5 back, chance to go just 4 back in the loss column if you win today's game with 28 games to play after today. Yeah, definitely a huge game last night and on the way, hopefully, to win a series.
And a big game for Starling Marte. You know, he had that slump 0 for 22. Well, all of a sudden, he's gotten it going again. 3 more hits last night. So Starling Marte, 6 hits in his last 13 at-bats.
And looking for RBIs, too. You like Clint Hurdle put him in that 5 spot last night. He's there again tonight, and he had a couple opportunities with runners in scoring position. Came through in a big way with the 3 hits to 3 RBIs. Need more of that, a lot more of that from Starling.
Pirates win last night 9-3. We'll see what they can do this afternoon. Try and get that to 4.5 games behind the Cardinals. It'll be Charlie Morton on the hill against Jaime Garcia. The Bucs look to stay hot in St. Louis. Coming up next. Takes the hill for the St. Louis Cardinals. Here at Busch Stadium. Where's the baseball? We'll need that. Jaime Garcia, oft injured, but boy, when healthy, he's really one of the top lefties in the league. We'll check out the starting lineup for the Pirates this afternoon under the arch. And the lineups are brought to you by Toyota. Josh Harrison, Jordy Mercer, Andrew McCutcheon, 1-2-3. Jung Ho Gong hits cleanup. Starling Marte once again in that 5-hole. And Michael Morse gets the start. You look at the good career numbers against Garcia. You understand why he's in there. Clint Hurdle stacks the deck with a bunch of right-handed hitters. Sean Rodriguez, Chris Stewart, Charlie Morton round out the starting 9. Josh Harrison going to be leading things off for the Pirates. Gregory Polanco gets this game off.
Jaime Garcia comes back after so many different injuries, it seems like, and continues to pitch very, very well. 7-4. Those 4 losses, the Cardinals were shut out in all 4 of those games. ERA 2.03, 93 innings, strikes out 3 times as many as he walks. The league hits just 213 against him.
And it's been a while since he last faced a Pirates team, over 3 years. August 19th, 2012. He went 8 innings of 5-hit shutout ball last time against the Pirates. This 29-year-old from Reynosa, Mexico.
19-inning game.
Yep. Pirates end up winning that one. 19 innings. Josh Harrison, the leadoff man, takes ball 1. First time Gregory Polanco has not been in the leadoff spot since August the 26th, when the Pirates were down in Miami. And Jay Hay bounces it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike on Josh Harrison, and already a happy camper, that young fan. Jay Hay 2 for 11 on the trip, went 1 for 5 last night. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
See at 91 mile per hour. He won't throw much harder than that. He'll sink it, try to cut it. Will also feature a slider, occasional curve, and a pretty good changeup. Changeup, the pitch will go to, or the slider pitch will go to with 2 strikes. Try to get the swing and miss.
Clint Hurdle was asked about all these right-handed hitters. He said righties have a higher OPS. He cited some other numbers. However, right-handed batters hitting just 198 against Jaime Garcia. Lefty hitters 263. But as the Pirates manager pointed out, it's skewed a bit because top left-handed hitters in the game stay in the game against a guy like Jaime Garcia. And there goes that changeup as Harrison offering. Jay Hay swings at the pitch in the dirt and is thrown out 2-3 to complete the strikeout. John Jay came off a disabled list yesterday. Did not start the game, but he does this afternoon. Defense brought to you by Honda. Stephen Piscotty, Jason Hayward, his wingers. Matt Carpenter, Johnny Peralta on the left side, Colton Wong, Brandon Moss on the right side, and of course, Yadier Molina catches Jaime Garcia. Jordy Mercer, a 7-game hitting streak now. 1 for 5 and an RBI last night. And Mercer now in the starting lineup for a 3rd straight game.
You know, that's the one thing we find is talk so much about the extra infielders on that left side. And these guys make it difficult for Clint Hurdle to write out the lineup when they're swinging the bat well.
And John asked him about this yesterday. The fact that he needs to balance the guys that are hitting against guys that hit but don't offer as much defensively. Now, when Mercer is hitting like he is, that's the best of both worlds because he's the best shortstop.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
So it kind of comes down to Aramis Ramirez and Jung Ho Gong now. In terms of third base, that's where Clint Hurdle prefers Gong, at 3rd. Josh Harrison getting the start at 2nd base for a 2nd straight game, and it's 3-2 on Mercer. Gong in the hole, hitting cleanup.
And both those guys, Ramirez and Gong, capable. Obviously, Gong, his first year, has been productive in the middle of the lineup, driving in runs. Ramirez, productive his entire career.
In the air to right, sending Hayward back toward the track. Oh, Mercer gave it a ride. It's out number 2. Going to get to our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Yeah, I hope to get off to a quick start like the Pirates did last night. Give Charlie Morton the lead when they had that 4-game skid, playing behind the whole time. And for Morton is, I think, throwing the ball very well in terms of the sinker, the curveball, throwing it for strikes. The big inning has hurt him in recent starts.
And it seems like it's just a little thing here and there that might get into Charlie Morton's mind.
He had back-to-back starts, where he was just dominating through 3, and then he gets into the stretch, and then it's boom, boom, boom.
Andrew McCutchen hitting .305, 2 for 4 last night. And another hit for Andrew McCutchen. He's just in that zone these days. The National League's Player of the Month for August. Singles to left.
What's amazing is the first inning success. I've never seen anything like it.
I don't know that he's ever had this kind of success in the first inning.
It's crazy. Now 8 for 8 with a couple of walks in the last 10 games and another broken bat. The Pirates had a number of those last night, but Andrew will take it. The ball hit a little bit off the end of his bat.
Those broken bats led to the first couple of runs last night in the first inning against Carlos Martinez. Jung Ho Kang had a couple of hits last night. One was that little pop-up behind first that fell in for a hit and an RBI. Kang also struck out 3 times before delivering a 9th inning single. Hitting .354 against Cardinals pitching this season. The rookie, Jung Ho Kang.
That first fastball to Jung Ho, borderline in, and that's a pitch that Garcia has gone to a lot this year. When he gets that fastball in to the right-handed batter, the league hitting just .042 against him this year. And there he misses a bit with his location. Yadier Molina wanted that changeup away, and it kind of sailed on the inner part of the plate. And those could get hurt if you're able to pull the trigger. Belt high in inner third. And that slider is a pitch he likes to get righties to swing over.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kang. If he reaches, we'll see Starling Marte. Neil Walker, again, not in the starting lineup. This time against the left-handed pitcher. And Jay Hay was hitting second last night behind Gregory Polanco. Walker was not in the lineup. Teams don't run much on Jaime Garcia and, of course, Yadier Molina.
And so much is talked about with Molina and how well he can still throw. Very accurate, quick, strong arm, but they have a pitching staff that does not allow runners very good jumps.
Bounce to third. Carpenter all the way across to Moss. And the Pirates leave Andrew McCutchen aboard. Now Charlie Morton takes the hill. the plate. Pirates leave a man in the top of the first. We check out Mike Matheny's starting lineup for the first place St. Louis Cardinals. Matt Carpenter, Stephen Piscotty, Jason Hayward, Johnny Peralta hits cleanup with Brandon Moss hitting fifth. Yadier Molina follows. Colton Wong. What about John Jay off the disabled list yesterday, hitting .450 in his career against Morton. And Garcia on the hill for the Cardinals.
Charlie Morton. Again, I think the command has been as good as I've seen Charlie with both the fastball and the curveball. 4.22 ERA. Does not have great numbers against the Cardinals in his career. Just 2-10 with a 5.5 ERA.
Now his last start against the Cardinals here last year, July the 7th, pitched a good ball game. 1 hit over 7 scoreless and no decision. And hopefully he'll take that into this game this afternoon. 10 consecutive starts, however, without a win against St. Louis. Matt Carpenter hitless in 3 at-bats last night, plus a walk.
Rare. It seems rare to see Matt Carpenter swinging at the first pitch of the ball game, or any at-bat for that matter.
I think he had 2 at-bats last. I know one for sure where he struck out on 3 pitches, and I think he struck out on 4 pitches the 3rd time up against Happ. That's also unusual. I see so few pitches. Carpenter almost always deep in the count. He is 2 for 15 on this homestand for the Redbirds. A series that started with the Washington Nationals. They took 2 of 3. And there's Carpenter up the middle, a base hit. Leadoff single for the 3rd baseman, Matt Carpenter. Michael Morse over at first base for the Pirates. Josh Harrison at second. Jung Ho Gong, Jordy Mercer on the left side. Starling Marte, Andrew McCutchen, Sean Rodriguez in the outfield. Chris Stewart does the catching. Been a while since Francisco Cervelli got a day off. So Stewart behind the dish, and now Stephen Piscotty, the rookie with an 11-game hitting streak and on fire. Bluff start by Carpenter. Ball 1. 3 steals and 6 attempts for Carpenter. And the strike call by Gary Cederstrom, the home plate umpire and crew chief. Rookie Quinn Walcott is over at first. He got smoked by a Gregory Polanco base hit last night. Ryan Blakeney at second, Eric Cooper at third. Good to see Quinn Walcott back. He was over at second last night and got hit on the wrist. Line drive by Polanco at cost Polanco an RBI. You see the welt on that left wrist.
Tell you what, he took it like a man.
He did. He did.
Brushed it off like nothing.
Just continued the inning. And then between innings, almost like Gary Cederstrom forced him to see the trainer over by the first base coaching box. One ball, 1 strike on Piscotty. Again, a bluff start by Carpenter, and it's lined toward Rodriguez and right. Piscotty lines out.
Well, that ball was hit hard too. I mean, that thing, I thought for a moment, saw Sean Rodriguez's first step, thought maybe that might get over his head, because that ball really took off on him. But Rodriguez, pretty much everywhere he plays, solid defensively.
But Charlie Morton now facing Jason Hayward. Hayward 0 for 4 in last night's game. .289 batter for the season. And 1 for 3 in previous matchups against Morton, a couple of former Atlanta Braves. Jason Hayward in his first year in a St. Louis uniform. 2-0. Charlie Morton was drafted by the Braves in the 3rd round in 2002, dealt to the Pirates in June of 2009.
Hayward's been pretty patient. I think the last night, the first 3 pitches today, a guy that doesn't walk a whole bunch.
Three-one count now on Jason Hayward. Charlie Morton's 19th start, began the year on the DL. And chopped towards second. Quick glove to glove flip.
He'll take it. That chopper. Jay Hay happened to go a ways to his right.
That worked out okay. That was a little dicey there, actually.
It's much tougher for the receiving fielder.
Yeah, you can see Mercer's reaction.
Yeah, he had time. I mean, it wasn't a ball. Hayward runs well. And so he's not a guy on a ball that's hit like a chopper like that. I don't think it's a double play ball. You just want to make sure one. But Jay Hay with a lot of confidence in that flip.
Johnny Peralta at the plate. And a closer play. Jason Hayward has 20 stolen bases in 22 tries. Phenomenal numbers for this big man. Jason Hayward, 6'5", 245 pounds. Bounce left side and pass gone. Mercer will throw late to second.
As a third baseman, these are the toughest balls. You know, the ball that the two-hopper, it has a lot of topspin. And if your first step isn't right, you're going to get caught in no man's land. And that's what happened there with Jung Ho. You know, if you take a step back and kind of, as you cross over to your left, if you kind of retreat, you know, a half a stride or so, you put yourself in a better position to get a good hop. But once he crossed over and went in towards the infield grass, he got himself caught in between a bit. And then you're just kind of at the mercy of a hop. And again, with all that topspin, it's never a consistent in-between hop.
Well, 2 outs, and now Morton tested again with Brandon Moss, who's been swinging a hot bat himself, an 8-game hitting streak. 2 more hits last night for Brandon Moss. A little inconsistent for Charlie Morton against left-handed batters. There was a stretch of games where they couldn't touch him. They're hitting .286 on the season against Morton. One ball, one strike.
Earlier in his career, that was always a concern, you know, how he fared against left-handed batters. But I think back then, he pretty much always threw lefties away. Now he throws them in a lot more often. That late two-seam action.
Got Moss to pop it up. Starling Marte in left. And we've completed 1 inning in St. Louis. A couple of men left on for the Redbirds.
Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places. And by Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. Let's go Bucks.
0-0. Head to the second inning. In St. Louis, we're going to show you our Barrel Automotive League Leaders stat, where these two teams' pitching staffs rank in Major League Baseball. The Pirates with a team ERA of 3.21. The Cardinals 2.72. Of course, they've been 1-2 much of the season. And two of the three teams in baseball that have 80-plus wins.
It's really, you talk about the Pirates' pitching staff and how strong they are. The Cardinals are half a run better. I mean, they are 1-2, but the Cardinals just off the charts good this year.
All these starters with ERAs under 3. Here's Marte. Tries to push the bunt up the right side and fouls it off. Marte, Morse, Rodriguez. We were talking last night that Marte had gone through that slump where he was 0 for 22 after his 3 for 5 performance last night. He now has 9 hits in his last 14 at bats. 0-2 the count. .93 degrees at game time. Hot afternoon and a hot pennant race in Major League Baseball. The Pirates and Cardinals, two storied franchises, battle it out. Here we are, the month of September. 29 games remain on the regular season schedule for Pittsburgh. This is the 15th head-to-head meeting of the year. And last night was a rare blowout for either club. The Pirates winning it 9-3. It is a hot afternoon.
Yeah. Not a good day to be sitting in the sun. In search of shade, I'm sure many.
And Marte is plunked. He is hit by a pitch. And hops toward first base.
He hopped on each leg. Did it get both of them?
That was weird. 16th time he's been hit by a pitch that ties him for second most in the league with his teammate Jung Ho Gong. Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs has been hit 25 times to lead the league. There's the hop on that, and now the hop on that.
Yeah, right on the toe.
He initially hops on that toe and then realizes, nope, we got to get on the other one. He has 26 steals, caught 9 times. Now Michael Morse, another pinch hit single in last night's game. Michael Morse showed you the numbers at the start. 417 career against Jaime Garcia, and tremendous career numbers against the Cardinals in general, batting .369 lifetime versus the Redbirds. This is his 9th start since joining the Pirates. Marte checking with the first base umpire Quinn Walcott. Checking on that move, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Walcott was
maybe asking how his wrist is doing, because my toe's hurting.
Yeah, Walcott might have said, "You see how I reacted?"
Yeah, that's right. You didn't see me do anything other than
around,
continue doing my job.
Decent move there. As a would-be base stealer, I always like to see the move. Try to pick something up.
.26 stolen bases now for Starling Marte on the season. See, caught 9 times. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out in the second. Michael Morse. People asking about that left sleeve that he's got on there. Talked to Scott Bones, the equipment manager, today about it. And basically, it's just the socks that some of the players have been wearing. Andrew McCutchen, Josh Harrison. Just a cut up sock.
It looks like the Penguins socks,
Yep.
like what they wear.
Garcia gets him. Second strikeout.
Started him off came in with the cutter and a two-seam fastball, then changeup. And that's a good changeup. Anytime you miss with the changeup over the middle there, thigh high, and you get the guy to wave and miss, it's got pretty good movement. Pretty good change of pace.
Sean Rodriguez, 2 for 2, inserted in the game for defensive purposes last night. Ended up with a couple of hits. Chris Stewart on deck. Jaime Garcia gets a lot of ground balls. He'll be looking to get Rodriguez to put one on the grass and get out of this. Garcia, an injury-plagued career. Found himself on the disabled list again, 2 different stints this year. And it is bounced into left field, putting runners at first and second. And got the ground ball, but not at an infielder. Base hit for Rodriguez.
Stay hot, Sean. Gets a pitch up in the zone. That's where both his hits came last night. Pulled the ball inside the line for a double.
And now Chris Stewart. A base hit can give the Pirates the lead with the speed of Marte. Four hits in his last 10 at-bats against lefties. He caught the 9th inning last night. The game was well out of hand, so the Pirates decided to get Cervelli out of there early. And excuse me, foul ball. Michael Wacha, one of the National League leaders in wins. Watching this one tomorrow night will be John Lackey against Garrett Cole. But Michael Wacha has become the team leader with 15 W's. Garrett Cole also with the 15 wins. Takes care of Chris Stewart for the second out. And now he'll face Charlie Morton.
I think that's the slider. That's where he gets most of his strikeouts from, that pitch. 42% on the year have gone down off that late breaking slider.
Charlie Morton, one ribby.
And that was his cutter there. It's kind of strange that Garcia throws both his regular fastball, the two-seamer, and his cutter at the same velocity.
You don't see that, do you?
Yeah,
Too often.
I was
questioning the stats that I got before the game until I'm watching it live, and you could see see when the ball's cutting or when the ball's running away from the right-handed batter, and the velocity's pretty much the same.
Derek Lilliquist is the pitching coach for the Cardinals. One and two on Morton, 1 hit and 1 RBI. Carlos Martinez was the starter last night. Extra rest, maybe a little too amped up. Went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs on 7 hits, suffered the loss. And Morton goes down on strikes. So 4 Ks for Martinez. The Pirates leave a couple. 1.5. Yadier Molina will lead off. How Rick Rhoden overcame injury and became one of the best Pirate players on the mound. And also be watching for tonight, Georgia Southern against West Virginia at 7:30. College football, the Mountaineers kick off their season. We are into the college football season, and they are into Yadier Molina. Even Pirate fans can't help but applaud this man. Jeff Locke and A.J. Burnett seated next to each other. Francisco Liriano there. A.J. Burnett getting close. We'll have a bullpen session tomorrow. Yadier Molina was 0 for 3 last night. Hitting .279 for the season. And a .400 career hitter against Charlie Morton. 6, 7, 8 men in the order. Bounce to Mercer. Molina carries his bat with him halfway down the line, slams it into the dirt. And the Allegheny Health Network injury update. Matt Adams has been on the 60-day DL with the right quad injury. Had surgery on that. Matt Holliday had the same injury, expected to be back sometime soon. They have been taking batting practice. Pretty incredible what these Cardinals have done. Matt Adams seated there at the dugout as Colton Wong takes ball 1. Matt Adams, big left-handed hitting first baseman. Look out. Yikes. Even Wong reacts.
It'll be interesting how quickly those guys can get locked in, or if they can get locked in, Holiday and Adams, and get inserted right into a pennant race. And I don't know if they'll have any opportunity to get into any kind of rehab games or not. Missed that kind of time. You wouldn't expect them to be able to come right back in and feel real comfortable.
Well, in the meantime, as Clint Hurdle has said, and I saw Mike Matheny, his good buddy, the exact same quote, next man up. They're two very close friends, Mike Matheny, manager of the Cardinals, and the Pirate skipper, Clint Hurdle.
Pretty good pitch there from Charlie.
Wong, a hit last night, 6-game hitting streak. And a 1-out walk. First walk for Charlie Morton. And now he faces John Jay. His first start since coming off the disabled list himself. And even though he's hitting .220, they love John Jay here, and he has done his share of damage over the years against the Pirates. He's a .450 career hitter against Charlie Morton.
Yeah, that was some kind of ovation last night. I mean, it was almost like it was, a guy that missed a year or two and has been here for 15 years.
Oh, and he's hit. Running runners at first and second. Starling Marte was plunked on the toe, and now John Jay gets it.
Yeah, not much of an effort to get out of the way. Just turns in, takes it off the thigh.
Now you hope that Charlie Morton can put the walk and that behind him, because one of the tips to win, Rivers Casino tips to win from John Wayner, avoid the big inning. Jaime Garcia going to try and bunt the runners up. You see no sacrifice bunts this season from Garcia. Had 3 last year.
And he tries to get himself in a position way up in front of the batter's box, so when he squares, the bat will be in fair territory.
Morton going to throw to first for the out. Jaime Garcia does the job.
Especially after Charlie gets the first strike. I think you try to make it a little easier and flip that big curveball up there, or make it a little more difficult for the batter.
You get a strike, why not try and see what you can?
Yeah, see if you could, maybe get the strike out, but gave him a pretty good pitch to bunt. Which again, there's been times I've also said, hey, you just got, they're giving you an out, take the out. Big at bat here.
No question. Only the second inning, but a very big one here. Morton against Carpenter, the block by Stewart. Over at third, Colton Wong. He drew a free pass.
Got down a little bit off the side of Chris Stewart, but didn't trickle too far away.
2-0 count now on Matt Carpenter. Morton gave up 2 hits in the first inning, including an infield ground single. Started this inning by getting Molina to ground to short, then walked Colton Wong, hits John Jay. Jaime Garcia moves the runners up on the sacrifice. Stephen Piscotty is on deck. Morton wants Stewart to run through those signs again.
And even though you're behind in the count, you don't have to give in here. Maybe try to throw the breaking ball in there for a strike. Maybe throw a changeup. But you can see being very careful.
Again, Piscotty on deck. We talked about how inconsistent it has been for Charlie Morton against left-handed batters this season. He went through a 2-start stretch where lefties were just 2 for 22 against him. And he walks Carpenter on 4 straight pitches. His previous 2 starts, however, left-handed batters 9 for 20 versus Morton. And so far, Matt Carpenter now officially 1 for 1.
And now Ray Searage is going to come out, pay a visit to Charlie Morton, maybe just to chat, how to approach Piscotty. Piscotty took the sinker as first at bat and hit a ball right on the nose out to Sean Rodriguez in right field. And Morton, first time through the lineup, did not throw very many curveballs. And I think if you're ever going to break one out just to throw a get me over strike, this may be the time to do it. Piscotty obviously he hasn't faced Morton. I am correct in saying that, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And and so he hasn't seen the curveball from Morton. This situation, as hard as his curveball is to hit, just go ahead and flip one up there for a strike, and then you go from there. Then maybe you expand, see if you can get a chase to get ahead. But I wouldn't, just lay a fastball in there.
That's chopped foul.
Pretty good location right on the inside edge. Chris Stewart actually set up in off the plate. And as good as that 2-seamer is for righties, if you get it in there and you get it on the edge, that's a tough pitch to hit hard and hit fair. There's the good curveball. Where's that at?
Does not get that call.
Let's take a look. W.B. Mason strike zone.
Right there. So it should be 0-2. Instead, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1.
Good take.
Two balls, 1 strike, bases loaded, 2 outs. Chopper, and Harrison is right there. He's going to have to throw to first, and the dirt gets away. Unbelievable. 2-0. Ball takes a wicked hop. Harrison makes that play, then throws in the dirt. Morris can't pick it. It's 2-0.
Wow, is that unfortunate? That maybe hit the bag. It might have hit second base. Hard to tell. And that took a wicked hop. And I don't know how you can give an error to Josh Harrison on this one. I mean, because of the way he has to throw it. No, it hits to the left of the bag, just a rut. And then whenever it hits over at first base, took a wicked hop on Michael Morris. I mean, that's just bad luck right there. And I don't know how you can give Josh Harrison an error on a ball that bounces like that.
I think they'll change that to a hit and an error.
Regardless, that's just, a tough luck.
Wow.
In that situation, but obviously you could say tough luck, but you also issued 3 free passes this inning.
Yep, starting with Colton Wong. And he hits Jay. He walks Carpenter. Jason Hayward. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One ball comes off the plate. It looks like the inning's over until that happens. And the position that Josh Harrison has to throw the ball from, that in and of itself is why that's a tough error.
Snap throw to first, and the runner Piscotty gets back.
But I think if that ball takes a normal hop in front of Michael Morris, he picks it. Inning over. But whatever that hit, that thing really came up on him.
Two and one. 2-2 count on Hayward.
Hayward at times could look a little awkward up there. Even that big swing, it was the slow curveball from Charlie Morton. And sometimes those hips don't get all the way through. Like even there, you look at the swing, and typically when you see a batter swing the back leg, the knee will come towards the pitcher. They'll get up on that back toe. His back foot was like still pointing at the Pirates dugout the last couple of swings. John Mabry, the Cardinals hitting coach.
And this is chopped to Mercer. The final out. Well, Morton kind of dug himself a hole. Josh Harrison, a tough play on that wicked hop. Cardinals take a 2-0 lead.
Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Traverse and your Western PA Chevy dealers, and by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks.
Day Automotive this day in Pirates history, with the Cardinals leading the Pirates 2-0. We go back to 1969. Steve Blass, almost by himself, beats the Cubs at Wrigley. 4 for 5, hit a 3-run homer off Ken Holtzman. On the mound, held all the Cubs, not named Billy Williams, hitless. Struck out 7 of them on his way to a complete game victory. Williams did have 4 hits with 2 homers. The win ended the Pirates' 13-game losing streak at Wrigley Field. A big day for our buddy Steve Blass.
4 hits.
How about that? That wasn't unusual for him.
Amazing.
Blass hit 172 in his career. Drove in 37 runs. 1969 hit .250. How about 1973? He was 10 for 24.
Wow.
Hit .417.
I know my first year I went to fantasy camp, and I don't know how old he was then, probably 60 or so. And the pitchers would hit, and he would hit, and he's hit line drives all over the field. It was amazing. He's a freak of nature.
Yeah, he is. One ball, 2 strikes to count. By the way, happy birthday to Bill Mazeroski. This day in Pirates history, Hall of Famer Maz, born on this day in 1936 in Wheeling, West Virginia.
And in that same fantasy camp, me and Maz turned a double play, which was really cool.
You're playing short?
Yeah. Yeah. He played second.
Where the ball was hit to whom?
That's what I'm trying to remember. But I just remember being thrilled about it. So you're going to call me on it now because I'm sitting here trying to remember.
You know, if you said that it was hit to Maz or hit to you, it really doesn't matter.
I know.
Just enjoy the story. Just go along with it.
Maybe it didn't happen. But I know he played second and I played short.
And you don't know if you turned a double play with him.
I thought I did. Now I'm like starting to question myself. I'm sure he'll remember.
I'm sure it's a thrill for Maz.
It was a big day for Maz. Big day for Maz.
Absolutely.
He didn't know who I was.
Play partner. Come on, yes he knew you.
He had no idea.
Come on. By the way, 5 strikeouts for Garcia. He's gotten Harrison twice. Jaime Garcia looking pretty tough early on here. Sharply hit and past Wong. Jordy Mercer is on. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to call here. Wong has 14 errors.
I like the way he turned around real quick to look at the ground as if to say, it wasn't my fault.
Yep.
But it did come up on him.
Yeah. Error on the second baseman. So there are some funny hops going on there.
Yep. Didn't fool the official score. He says that Wong should have made the play.
And Andrew McCutchen now. Try and make that error hurt. McCutchen 4 for 9 lifetime against Garcia.
And yeah, you go back to that bottom of the second inning, and Charlie Morton does allow 2 runs, but he did still avoid the big inning, and I think that's key. You know, another hit or 2, Cardinals up 3 or 4 early. It's a little tougher to come back against a guy like Garcia.
Yeah, he held the fort. And a couple of strikes on McCutchen. Jaime Garcia has allowed 4 home runs this season. None in his last 6 starts.
You talked about it earlier, you know, the amount of ground balls he gets. Only 17% of the time does an opponent hit the ball in the air. That's
one of the maybe the best number in the league.
That's really good.
Hard to believe there's anybody better.
Charlie Morton's at 18.8%.
Chopper. Garcia looks towards second and throws out McCutchen, 2 outs.
And you can hear in the crowd mic, you could hear Yadier Molina yelling 1-1-1-1. Otherwise, Garcia did have a shot at Mercer at second base. but Molina opting to just get the shore out. You see all the time he had once he gloved that ball, and Mercer was a good 25-30 feet from the bag still, so would have had a chance at the force, but maybe the Pirates can cash in now with the runner in scoring position.
Chung Ho Gong bounced out in the first. Who knows what will happen this at bat. It would be fun to go back and look at Gong's first at bats against pitchers for the first time and see then what he does the second time or third time in a ball game.
Yeah.
He seems to be as good as anybody at making a quick adjustment, figuring out what they're doing, what he needs to do.
That was more of a straight fastball. That first fastball started off the plate and ran over the inside corner. And then Garcia on that pitch kept it inside, thinking that might get Gong to swing at it.
And he bounces it to the second baseman, Wong. So the error does not hurt. And after 2.5, Jaime Garcia and the Cardinals lead the Buccos 2-0. Going to the bottom of the third inning in St. Louis, and we want to see your strongest fan photo. All you have to do is use the hashtag #PittDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming telecast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Hashtag #PittDataStrongFan. And doing what they can to stay cool. 93-degree afternoon. Pirates trailing 2-0 in the middle game of this series. Johnny Peralta will lead things off. As we suspected, they did make the scoring change properly. Stephen Piscotty, that chopper, it looked like it might have even hit the second base bag. It's credited with an infield single RBI. Another run scoring on the air by Harrison when it got past Michael Morse. So one earned run, one unearned. And a 12-game hitting streak for Piscotty. Peralta, fly ball towards Sean Rodriguez. One up and one down here in the third. Now the Cubs were Mariners again today as Jake Arrieta goes 8 innings, a 4-hit shutout ball, no walks, 7 strikeouts. He's unbelievable.
Wow.
18-6 is Arrieta now. Hector Rondon, his 26th save. They beat the Diamondbacks 2-0. They keep the pressure on the Pirates.
All of a sudden, it's not a lock. In fact, far from a lock of Greinke becoming
right
and winning the Cy Young Award.
No doubt.
Because Arrieta has to be right around 2, if not below 2 himself.
I think it's 203, I believe. No, yep, 203. Look at Brandon Moss. Going to give me a hit, I'll take it. One single for Moss.
Yeah, one of the rare times you see the lefty that has that whole left side get it down, but you can see there he was, squared early, wasn't tricky about it. But all you have to do is bunt it past the pitcher. Got a good pitch to do it. Pitch up out over the plate.
Here's Molina, who bounced to Jordy Mercer in the second inning. Moss now with a 9-game hitting streak.
Moss does not have a stolen base attempt. Just because he's bunting for base hits nowadays. And I think if you see a guy like Moss breaking for second, chances are it's a hit and run.
Molina historically gets into a bunch of double plays. One ball, one strike. Charlie Morton giving up the 2 runs in the second, 1 earned.
You see the number 2 there? It's covering up number 1. Exact same location.
And a fly ball to left. Two away in the third. Molina goes back to the dugout 0 for 2. And so far, it's early in the game, but looks like about half the outs have been fly balls. Half have been ground outs for Charlie Morton. He walked Colton Wong. That led to the 2 runs last inning. One ball, one strike on Wong. Wong hitting over 300 against Pirates pitching on the year. As we said, Morton getting his first start against the Cardinals this season.
There's the big curveball. Good location. No strikeouts yet for Charlie.
I haven't seen much of that curveball yet.
No. There it is, breaking. See where Stewart caught that almost above the dirt, yet as it went through the strike zone, it was actually at the knees.
Bouncing ball, and Mercer is on the other side of the bag. He'll throw out Colton Wong. It's a 6-3 put out. And a 2-0 Cardinal lead. Four ahead of the Cubs for the top wild card spot. But the Bucs, of course, still have their sights set on the Central. Beginning the day 5.5 back of St. Louis. Josh Harrison and hitting coach Jeff Branson. Brief conversation. Starling Marte will lead off the fourth. Jaime Garcia has been tough. Marte hit by a pitch to start the second. Strikes on him.
Yeah, Garcia hasn't located that changeup very well. He's left a number of them up in the zone. And even has missed location wise with the fastball at times over the middle. He does have a lot of movement though. Changeup dies as it comes to the plate. There you see that number 2 was the changeup. Number 1 the fastball. Don't come into a game with an ERA just over 2 without having good stuff and getting away with mistakes.
This is his 8th start since his most recent return from the DL. We mentioned that he has been on the disabled list twice this season. His last start went 6 1/3 innings out in San Francisco and gave up a season high 4 runs to the Giants.
Maybe hit that same toe. Got hit in the left toe his first at bat. And that's about the area, around the area where that foul ball went on. Ouch.
Oh my gosh.
That's about the same spot.
Gary Cederstrom is trying to buy Marte as much time as he can. Asked for some new baseballs. Dusting off home plate. Marte struggling to get back in that batter's box.
And that's on your mind right now. This pitch right here, you're thinking,
just don't
try to pull it.
Oh, you see it right there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Once you get in there, it's hard to erase that because you're thinking, don't throw me down an inning. I don't want to foul another one off that foot. I mean, I guess if you could take enough time to get your thoughts in order, that more than anything else should try to convince you to really try to stay inside the ball. When you stay inside, you're less likely to hook a ball off your body. There's not a whole lot a trainer can do for you there. I mean, it's either tolerate the pain or you can't. And there's no magic freeze spray or anything else that's going to alleviate that pain. And they'll sure take the shoe off, examine that toe. Who knows?
Carpenter throws out Michael Morse. The most popular way to follow the Pirates' push to the postseason is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, statcasts, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat now. Cool looking socks. See if Marte can continue. Sean Rodriguez with one of the 2 Pirates hits. Lines this ball to left field. Rodriguez now 4 for 4 in his 4 at bats.
Yeah, and he's taking advantage of the mistakes. I mentioned Garcia has missed in the middle of the plate and up. Look at the location is here. It's right down the middle. And Sean Rodriguez up there ready to go. Molina wanted it down and away. Middle. Another hard hit ball.
Chris Stewart. Ball, no strikes on the Pirates catcher. Struck out in the second. 6 punch outs for Garcia.
Looking at Carpenter at third. Boy, he's right on the line. I don't know if maybe that's the approach that they take with 2 outs in an inning. Protect any extra base hits. That's like 7th, 8th, 9th inning stuff when you're playing no doubles. I mean, last night he was doing that.
Yeah.
One way to prevent a run from scoring, I suppose.
And right to him.
You figure, with the pitcher on deck, they both have to get a hit to score,
exactly.
Unless there's an extra base hit.
The 2-0 Cardinals head to the bottom of the 4th. overcame injury to become one of the best Pirates players on the mound and at the plate. Check out Chris Stewart's new smart hitting system and much more inside Pirates baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, Monday after postgame on Root Sports. All the way from Australia. They come from all over to see the Cardinals. Hotels around here filled with all kinds of Cardinal fans all over the Midwest and, in that case, Australia. UPMC scoreboard, 2-0 Cardinals lead going to the bottom of the 4th inning. And there are a lot of folks from Pittsburgh this weekend on hand.
Yeah, think of all the area they have to draw, both the Cardinals and the Royals.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Midwest, basically. That's what I was, I guess, a little surprised to find when we were in Kansas City. You know, how many people from out of town
were there to see them.
Travel in to see the Royals.
1 ball, 1 strike on John Jay. He was hit by a Morton pitch in the second. He scored on the throwing error charged to Harrison. 2-0 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. Jaime Garcia to follow. A foul ball there off the screen. 1-2 count on John Jay. John, here's one area at one ballpark that extends the screens to the dugouts. That, that might be an answer, an option certainly for other ballparks. It has been a topic of discussion in Philadelphia. And John Jay goes down on strikes.
Yeah, there's a couple of ballparks like that just like that. That's not all the way up top. It doesn't go as high as the screen behind the plate, but it goes over there. I can't recall off the top of my head the other ballparks that have it like that. But yeah, certainly a good idea. You figured all the high. I mean, you might sit there and say, well, fans don't want to look through the screens. Well, the highest priced tickets are right behind the plate. They're all looking through the screens, so I don't know how you would be able to do it all the way down the line. I don't know how far you can do it and how that would work out.
Ball to strike on the pitcher. Sacrifice bunt in the second. Lines this ball to right. And Rodriguez makes the catch. Sean Rodriguez. That ball really carried on a line shot by Jaime Garcia.
My, oh my, did he hit that ball hard. And nice adjustment out there by Sean Rod. Wow. I mean, we talked about it earlier with Piscotty hit a bullet out there that got out there a little quicker than I think Rodriguez was prepared for, and this one as well. Took off on him. Nice adjustment.
Two outs. Now Matt Carpenter. Single and a walk so far against Morton. Another look from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
And that's why you wear a longer glove in the outfield. And before he hit the ground, you see the little adjustment that he brought the ball into his pocket.
In the pocket,
yeah, because it was at the end of the glove before he fell. Neil Walker did that in Milwaukee. I thought that was good. Before he hit the ground, made a little adjustment to make sure that the ball was properly secured. Yeah. But both of those, I mean, I've always thought that was hard for a corner outfielder. Anytime a righty hits a line drive out there, because of the slice, usually it slices and dies. You don't expect them to hit a line drive over your head, and he made a nice adjustment on Piscotty. But a pitcher, too. You don't expect a pitcher to hook a ball at you in the outfield and have it carry over your head.
Well, not necessarily routine, but he does strike out a pair, and with some help from Sean Rodriguez, it is a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th.
By Kenny Ross, Just Ask a Neighbor. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier of the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
2-0. Cardinals in front. Head to the 5th here in St. Louis. Time now for our Data Strong fan photo of the game. Brought to you by T-Mobile. The Padman family here at Busch Stadium. Nice shot. Thanks to them for sharing.
Not too far from us.
No. Chris Stewart behind the plate today, working with Charlie Morton. On to the 5th inning. Garcia struck out 6 batters. Well, Garcia hit the line drive to right, and Morton lines one foul. Try to channel some of that Steve Blass energy into Charlie Morton's bat here. The anniversary of Mr. Blass's big day at the plate against the Cubs, 1969.
If he got 4, certainly Charlie can get 1. Maybe next time.
Yep. 7 strikeouts for Jaime Garcia. And that is a season high for him. He struck out just 1 giant his last time, allowing 10 hits, 4 runs. Shadows start to creep across home plate. Garcia has struck out Josh Harrison both times. Jay has really struggled against the Cardinals this season. They have pitched him extremely tough. And a line drive out.
Shading him up the middle. Thought that was going to be able to get through.
Get on board with Bucko Baseball for 2016. The Pirates are now accepting deposits for full and partial season ticket memberships. You get access to exclusive events, the best locations and savings, and you can customize your membership. And remember, 2016 full and half season deposits will get 2015 postseason priority. For more information, go to pirates.com/membership. Strike on Jordy Mercer. Jaime Garcia. Just a few starts against the Pirates in his career. 3 exact, 5 total appearances. An ERA against the Pirates of 0.73 coming into this game.
Oh, the pitch, getting that call, that last pitch looked to be off the plate to Jordy. Certainly doesn't help Pirates' cause. There you see just 1 in the zone, but 2 strikes. And then a good slider.
He has punched out 8. First time he retires the side in order. Halfway through it, 2-0 Redbirds. Some more great images from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. 2-0 ball game. First pitch swinging. Rodriguez going to make the catch off the Stephen Piscotty fly out. One away, and we'll go downstairs to Robbie and Smikowski.
Well, Greg, Jason Hayward getting set to hit. He's one of the best, most dangerous hitters in that Cardinals lineup, and he's also one of the most versatile hitters you'll see in all of baseball. The guy is hitting in every single spot of the lineup, 1 through 9, as we get a look at every place that he has hit. Okay, now granted, in the 9 spot, all his ABs, it's been 9 appearances. They've all been as a pinch hitter, and he's led off just one time. As we get a look, the main spot is in the number 4 spot. Today, he's batting number 3. But spots 2 through 8 are places he's hit pretty frequently. Now, his most frequent spot, as we saw, is cleanup. Now, you know he's a tough out each time at the plate, Greg and John, but making that tougher is the fact that every day, you never know where the guy's going to show up in the lineup.
Who did we see the other day, Robbie, for the Rockies? Was it DJ LeMahieu? Same thing, all 9 spots in the batting order. That is kind of wild, especially when you look at a guy like Jason Hayward. You'd think he'd be automatically just a 3 or 4 guy, maybe 5.
If memory serves me correctly, got off to a bit of a slow start. So then you move him down.
Yeah.
But when he's swinging the bat well, he's going to be in the middle.
Still wears that modified batting helmet after having that jaw broken 2 years ago by Jonathan Neese of the Mets. Mike Matheny trying to lead this Cardinals team to another division title. Morse will keep it himself. Right to the bag it goes. Fly out, ground out. We're asking about the curveball. Becky in the truck tells us that coming into this inning, just a dozen curveballs thrown, 6 for strikes.
Here it comes.
Breaking ball.
Threw a couple dandies to Hayward there that previous bat. Boy, that was nasty there. When he gets it down, there's so much more movement, so much more break. Watch it take off down and away from him. I mean, that thing started off the plate in.
Now back up with a fastball to Peralta. See the percentage so far. Fastballs, breaking balls.
Change up.
One hopper, deep short. All day for Mercer to gun it across to Morse. And for the second consecutive inning, Charlie Morton retires the Cardinals in order. Andrew McCutchen will lead off. Garcia blanking the Bucks on 3 singles. A 2-out hit by Andrew McCutchen in the first, a 1-out single by Sean Rodriguez in the second, 2-out hit by Sean Rodriguez in the fourth. And our Point Park University tweet is a photo from all the way from Pittsburgh to watch the Buccos win in St. Louis. Thanks to Becca. Hashtag Bucks Booth if you want to share a photo or a comment, a thought. Hashtag Bucks Booth.
Bat's got to start coming through here for Becca.
Did so last night. 17 hits and a 9-3 victory. McCutchen has singled and bounced back to Garcia.
Broke out the curveball. I want to say the first one we've seen today from Mr. Garcia.
Looking for career win number 50 is Jaime Garcia. Three pitches. Strikes out McCutchen.
Andrew up there swinging like he didn't pick the ball up very well out of Garcia's hand. Another changeup, and you'll see the downward movement, down and away. You don't see Andrew McCutchen swing at pitches that far out of the zone very often. This is about the time, teams come out to take batting practice, and typically hard to see with the shadows creeping across the infield.
2 quick outs here in the 6th.
And it's not going to get any easier the rest of the afternoon. I think it gets more and more difficult as the shadow creeps past the pitcher. It's not as bad when the pitcher's in the sun, because when the release point, it's still bright, but once the shadow goes beyond the mound and then everything's coming out dark, you don't see it as well as you would now.
Strike one on Starling Marte.
That's where Marte doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to see anything else down and in where he can foul another ball off that foot.
And the third baseman Carpenter cuts off the shortstop and gets Marte, and the Pirates go down in order. Jaime Garcia blanking the Pirates on 3 hits through his 6 innings.
Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
2-0 Cardinals. Going to the bottom of the 6th inning here in St. Louis. Even some Blue Jays fans on hand here. Check out the Nissan Road ahead. Tomorrow night, Sunday Night Baseball. You can catch the game on ESPN, but also on our Pirates radio network tomorrow night. And then Labor Day Monday afternoon against Cincinnati, back on Root Sports. A 3-game series against the Reds. Home for 4 against the Brewers. A day-night doubleheader against the Cubs at PNC Park on Tuesday the 15th. And on the road as we wind down September. Brandon Moss takes a strike. Moss, a bunt hit with 1 out in the 3rd, was stranded. Charlie Morton has sent down the last 8 straight. One ball, 1 strike. And now 1-2. And the Pirates up a 2-0 score here in the bottom of the 6th. Brandon Moss extending his hitting streak to 9 straight games with that bunt hit in the 3rd. Mercer playing like a second baseman. First out here in the 6th. And Morton, when you look, John, at the hits, the leadoff hit in the 1st inning by Matt Carpenter. Then there was the ground single by Johnny Peralta. It got past Young, and Mercer had no play. He had the chop hit in the 2nd off the bat of Stephen Piscotty, the ball that took off on Josh Harrison, had to jump up, make the play, and then threw a 1-hopper to first. And the bunt hit by Brandon Moss. I mean, he has pitched a heck of a ball game here.
Yes, he has. Unfortunately, that bad hop has cost the Pirates those 2 runs. Unfortunate. Jay Hay did all he could to try to make the play.
Molina bounced to short, flied to left.
Time for Uncle Charlie. Molina picks it up, able to lay off.
A chance this is Morton's last inning. He would be due up 4th in the 7th. Softly hit toward right for the 2nd out. Bat in hand, Molina will walk dejectedly back to the dugout. 0 for 3. That was a little more routine for Sean Rodriguez. So 10 straight retired by Morton, and 12 of the last 13. Really was hurt by the free pass in that 2nd inning, walking Colton Wong with 1 out.
Well, I've been impressed with Charlie Morton, despite, we talked about his last couple of starts where he was in command, almost dominating. Then he had the big inning go against him. I really think the last month or so, he's pitched with as much confidence as we've ever seen, to where he just goes up there, doesn't let anything bother him. He knows he's got good stuff. All he has to do is pound the zone. He has been pounding the zone. Unfortunately, tonight, a couple of walks. This afternoon, the 2 walks to hit batter in that 2nd inning. But he's out of that inning without a bad hop. But for the most part, he knows where it's going. He has so much movement in this 2-seamer and so much movement in the curveball. But naturally, as I talk about it, he misses with all 4 pitches here to Wong.
It's the 3rd walk allowed by Morton. Second time Wong has reached, and another trip to the mound for the Pirates pitching coach. Searage to talk to Charlie Morton. Morton's 19th start of the year. Hoping the Pirates can come back for him because he's lost his last 2 ball games to the Marlins and Rockies. Recovering from right hip surgery, began the year on the disabled list. John Jay hit by a pitch in the second, struck out in the fourth. "14 steals for Colton Wong, caught 8 times.
Mike Matheny will want Wong to run here. John batting 8th. John Jay batting 8th. You send Wong. A good chance that they pitch around Jay to get to Garcia.
Opponents 13 for 13 against Morton in the stolen base department this season. 0-2 on John Jay. Jose Oquendo, the trusted third base coach for the Redbirds. Struck him out. So Charlie Morton, if indeed he is done for the day, has pitched a strong ball game. See if the Pirates can't pick him up a couple of runs. Been solid, 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned.
Got the ground ball, a few strikeouts. Really hasn't had very many. A couple of hard hit balls off him, both out to Sean Rodriguez. Outside of that, I mean, he's been good, except for a couple of walks hit batter and a bad hop cost him 2 in the second. Outside of that, Charlie Morton, very, very good.
The numbers on Charlie Morton so far, and not that he's out of the game yet. We're kind of hoping he will be out of the game, actually. That would mean his spot in the order comes up. and they would lift him for a pinch hitter. Pirates need a base runner for that to happen. Michael Morse, Sean Rodriguez, Chris Stewart against Jaime Garcia, who's been even tougher, having struck out 9, one shy of his career high, and continuing his incredible work against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jaime Garcia pitched 8 innings, allowed 2 unearned runs, 5 hits last time he faced Pittsburgh here. That was August 19th, 2012. His 4th straight start against the Pirates after 2 relief appearances back in 2008. And a 1-1 count on Michael Morse. Two and 1. When Morse puts on a show, doesn't he, during batting practice?
Yeah, I tell you, it's fun to watch.
Some tape measure shots during BP.
Garcia gets him to chase. A couple of pitches in this at bat is yet to be anywhere near the strike zone, but the count 2-2.
The 10 strikeouts, a career high. He's at 9 currently. It would be the 3rd time in his career he struck out as many as 10. And one of those outings was that game we mentioned in August of 2012. Struck out 10 Pirates. Full count. Lance Lynn for the St. Louis Cardinals, part of this staff that has the lowest ERA in all of Major League Baseball. He's had his share of strong ball games against Pittsburgh over the years.
Not his last one.
No, last one was Pirates doing a number against Lynn. They knocked him around. He got only 2 outs in that ball game.
Can we get a base runner here?
Bouncing ball. 1 out. Carpenter on to first, and now Sean Rodriguez. Point Park University tweet. Oh yeah, we need to get the rally mantis back. We had the praying mantis sitting in front of our booth last night. Bob was all telling us to, he says, pick it up. I said, no. He says, well, all you got to do is. And so he was a little frightened about it too.
Yeah, he acted like I was trying to get it to crawl on my hand.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. So I was talking to Bob about it last night. I'm like, you guys were so afraid of that thing. It's like they eat leaves.
Afraid of it?
Yeah, you guys were both.
I was afraid of it because of the experience he said he had with it earlier this summer. He tried to pick one up and he said it bit him and it hurt badly.
Oh, well, that's what he corrected me last night. He said they're not leaf eaters, they're meat eaters. They'll go into your garden, they'll clean it out of bugs.
Yeah.
He says
we were trying to feed it a grasshopper. Last night we were looking for a grasshopper because we saw one in the back of the radio booth before the game. We couldn't find it. We were going to try and feed it.
A grasshopper.
We don't see the rally mantis. The Pirates scored 4 runs in the 9th inning when that mantis landed in front of our booth.
Those things are vicious, though. So now he Googled images of the praying mantis.
Yeah,
they're showing them like eating spiders.
I know.
Ramirez hoping to get a chance to at least tie it here in the 7th.
I took a number of shots. There's a line drive deep to left field, and it is a fair ball off the wall. Sean Rodriguez is into second base, and he is 6 for his last 6 at bats, including 3 for 3 this afternoon.
Boy, he's having no problem picking up these pitches from Jaime Garcia. That little cutter. And boy, is that a nice looking swing. It's hard to keep that pitch fair. A cutter 3 or 4 inches in off the Inside corner. Pulls the hands in. Locked in.
Maybe the rally mantis just even talking about it. As Chris Stewart, who has struck out and bounced out, thinks about bunting for a hit. Ball one. Alex Ramirez on deck to hit for Morton. Oh, brother. Almost had Rodriguez, but Rodriguez gets back, and Stewart is out number 2.
And again, late movement. He's gotten a lot of swings and pitches out of the strike zone. This was a little slider that was down and in off the end of the bat. Thought about it and figured we'll just get the out. Here you'll see the slider. Look at that location. Molina was going down to a knee to block it.
So Morton done for the day, and Jaime Garcia will be finished after this inning as his spot in the order comes up first in the bottom of the 7th, looking for the last out. Kevin Segrist is up in the bullpen now for the Redbirds as Aramis Ramirez bats against Jaime Garcia. Ramirez, .250 career hitter against Garcia with a couple of home runs.
Another chase on a pitch well out of the zone. Now, these aren't always comfortable with bats. Guys that are used to playing regularly, pinch hitting isn't always comfortable, although Ramirez has been pretty good this year. 3 for 7, 4 RBIs as a pinch hitter.
Archimedes Caminero will be the new Pirates pitcher. The right-hander, the lefty Segrist, ready for the Cardinals.
Let's see if we get Garcia to make a mistake. Like that slider there.
Segrist, righties hit just 163 against him. 2-1. And Garcia wanting Molina to run through the signs, but Molina wants to talk to him about it.
Could be at the point too where you're a little paranoid with that runner at second base, whether or not he's relaying signs. So they could be changing signs as they bring in Colton Wong. And well, I've seen Molina before where he'll go behind the plate. He won't even give a sign. They just basically say, hey, this is what we're going to throw. As you see, Molina did not put down any signs. Another good slider. And just does a good job of starting the ball in the strike zone, having it break out, and getting chases. Almost Francisco Liriano-like.
Still 2-2.
Because I think Pirate fans probably frustrated by seeing the swings and misses or the chases of pitches out of the strike zone. Well, it works both ways. There's other pitchers that have good stuff and good late movement that are hard to lay off, like Liriano. We love it when he's out there and he gets those chases. You scratch your head and wonder, how do they swing at that? Well, it's because of late movement, deception. Plus, I think Garcia has a bit of a help with the background.
And now the ball gets away, and a safe call at third, a fairly close play. Carpenter is claiming that he tagged the runner, Rodriguez, but the third base umpire, Eric Cooper, said you pushed him off. And here comes Mike Matheny. A wild pitch has a runner at third. Not that it's all that meaningful in the scheme of things.
What I think, it is meaningful, obviously, the out, but it doesn't matter whether he's on second or third.
Yeah, of course. But you can't challenge a judgment call if he believes that he was pushed off. Well, we are going to see Eric Cooper at least go to Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief, to talk things over. Well, is it worth the risk if you're Sean Rodriguez there, John?
Yeah, that's the one thing you have to, you wonder. In your mind as a base runner, you got to think, if I'm going to risk with 2 outs going to third, there shouldn't be a play. I should be able to get in there standing. It isn't worth the risk if it's going to be a bang bang play. I mean, I got to be pretty certain that I'm going to get there without a play. And he got there fairly early, but obviously with the late side.
Well, they are going to challenge it. I don't, even with that, I don't see anything that's clear and convincing. Now going to Clint Hurdle to explain. That's not reviewable. It looked as though that's what Eric Cooper just said.
I still don't think we've had a replay just yet that shows his foot off the bat.
You can review tag plays, obviously. We've seen so many of those this season, but
now, if it comes off, this angle should show it.
Now watch the umpire here, though. If we can continue, he says, no, you pushed him off.
Right. And so that may have been, I mean, you could sit here and assume, based on the reaction of Carpenter, the reaction of Rodriguez as he reached back for the bag, but there's no evidence. There's absolutely no evidence.
Cardinals lose their challenge. Call confirmed. Well, Molina did a nice job, though, recovering really quickly. So there's a delay of a minute 35 seconds at least. Garcia comes back. A foul ball.
He's been consistently down and out of the strike zone. I don't believe Aramis has seen a fastball yet of the first 7 pitches offered.
And he walked a heck of an at bat there, even though he chased, as John was saying, it's so tough against a pitcher like Garcia. Putting runners at first and third, and now have a pinch runner. first base. Pedro Florimon will pinch run for Aramis Ramirez. And the first walk allowed by Jaime Garcia.
And we'll see if it appears Garcia is going to get to finish this 7th inning. If you're Pedro Florimon over there at first, you're a one-way lead. You're making sure that Garcia goes to the plate.
I hope the hidden vigorish comes into play here for Josh Harrison. Jay Hay, just 2 hits in 14 at bats on this road trip, and he is 3 for 31 against Cardinals pitching this season. That's an .097 average.
Ooh. And maybe not, he may not see a pitch, and my guess is he won't see a pitch as good as that one to hit. I don't know if he was taking all the way, or if he didn't pick it up, but you're not going to get a better pitch than this one to hit.
One ball and 1 strike. Jaime Garcia has matched his season high in terms of the pitch count. 106 pitches back on August the 8th against the Milwaukee Brewers. In his handful of starts last year, he had 1 start of 106 pitches. And now he has Harrison in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And now it's time to go into emergency mode. 2-strike approach as Jay Hay, again, not picking the ball up, swings at the pitch in the dirt. You want to try to see it as long as you can, stay short and quick, maybe try to hit the ball the other way so you get to see it that little bit longer.
And a bouncing ball toward the shortstop. For the out, Jaime Garcia, 7 shutout innings. Pirates still trail 2-0. Here in St. Louis, look over at Cardinals Nation across the street, and Pittsburgh is hosting the second Bike to the Ball game at PNC Park on Tuesday, September 15th. Pirates will be hosting the Chicago Cubs. Second half of that day-night doubleheader. 7:05 first pitch. Ticket packages available starting at $19 and include a donation to Bike Pittsburgh and a valet for your bike on Federal Street before the game. For tickets, go to Bike PGH. So Archimedes Caminero, his job is to keep this a 2-run deficit. Charlie Morton goes 6, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. And leading off for the Cardinals, Mike Matheny is going to allow Garcia to hit. Garcia is going to hit here in the bottom of the 7th.
Amazing. Greg
Garcia. Did I fool you? No, I didn't think so. I looked at you and you said, what are you talking about?
Come on, Greg.
That was Adam Elmore's line, my producer. Greg Garcia had a chance to bat last night late. Bounced out in the 9th against Jared Hughes. He bats for Jaime Garcia, no relation. Jaime Garcia, 7 shutout innings. Fouled off.
Good off-speed pitch.
Jaime Garcia talking with Yadier Molina. His ERA is down to 189.
Now again, he got some nasty movement. Obviously pitched well, got away with some mistakes, and got a lot of chases.
'98 full count. 9 strikeouts for Jaime Garcia, 1 shy of his career high. Leadoff walk. Caminero had a 16-1/3 scoreless inning streak come to an end on Wednesday in Milwaukee when he gave up a home run to Adam Lind. Matt Carpenter. Peter Borges is going to pinch run. Took a while for that to happen.
Don't get
Garcia
that.
almost picked off before the pinch runner came on board. Peter Borges, a speedster, but he has been caught 7 times trying to steal in a dozen attempts. Carpenter single walk, struck out against Charlie Morton. He will now go 11 consecutive starts without a victory against the St. Louis Cardinals.
I hope that Caminero here keeps this a 2-run game. It's still very doable to come back from 2-0 even against this very good Cardinals bullpen.
Toward left center field and gone. Matt Carpenter's 2-run homer makes it 4-0 Cardinals. His 21st of the year. Leads the team in home runs and RBIs.
Fastball down the middle, 94 miles per hour. I'm guessing a two-seam fastball that stayed straight.
Now this ball sent a long way, and a nice catch by Andrew McCutchen off the bat of Stephen Piscotty. McCutchen tracking it down.
Boy, he's hit a couple balls right on the money. Piscotty that took a couple good plays. One from Rodriguez, now from McCutchen. As this ball, you'll see it hook a little bit. Andrew got turned around, but that good speed. Extend all the way up right in front of the wall.
Two and on Hayward. Three balls, no strikes. Pirates now trail 4-0. As Caminero gives up the home run to Matt Carpenter. Another strike. Chopper on the right side. Three infielders there. Easy for Mercer.
Yeah, nice job coming back in the strike zone there after falling behind 3-0.
Segrist will be the new pitcher. By the way, we got information from Major League Baseball about why that play was reviewable on the wild pitch that allowed Sean Rodriguez to go to third. And the third base umpire Eric Cooper motioning that Matt Carpenter had pushed him off. It was reviewable up until that point, up until Carpenter pushed him off. Matt Carpenter hitting now his 21st home run of the season. And Sean Rodriguez safe at third on the wild pitch, but he was stranded. Bouncing ball to third. Down throws him out. Pirates have two more shots. They go to work against Rosenthal downfield. deal for the remaining Sunday home games at PNC Park. You visit the Science Center on a Sunday morning before a home game and show your Science Center wristband at the PNC Park ticket windows and get a discount on Pirates tickets. So save big on the North Shore each Sunday thanks to the Buccos and the Carnegie Science Center. Pirates will have 2 more regular season homestands. We showed you that schedule coming up. The Brewers will be in town starting on the Tuesday game. As you take a look at Kevin Segrist.
Hard throwing lefty, 6-1, 2.23 ERA, 74 punch outs and 60 2/3.
Thursday the 10th. This coming Thursday, the Brewers in to begin that homestand. And Jordy Mercer begins the 8th inning. Peter Borges stays in the game in center field. One two on Mercer. He takes care of Jordy Mercer, does the lefty Segrist.
He's kind of their version of Tony Watson. Comes in, he's aggressive with the fastball. He does throw a slider and changeup like Tony Watson does, but Segrist likes to throw that heater. One thing I'm sure Pirate hitters like about getting Garcia out of there, at least they're going to face somebody that's throwing it straight, and not with all that late movement from Jaime Garcia. He goes upstairs against Andrew McCutchen. Top of the zone.
1-2.
Top of the zone. I don't see many umpires, even though it hits the red line, many umpires will call that pitch a strike.
Popped up, headed out of play. Starling Marte and this Pirates offense frustrated by Jaime Garcia allowing 4 hits. McCutchen bounces to deep short. Just gets McCutchen, does Peralta.
And not many shortstops would stay back on that ball and let the ball come to you with a guy like McCutchen running down the line. But Peralta knows the speed of the game, knows how much time he has, and just so nonchalant about everything. 1 foot on the grass, gets it over there, and just half a step to spare.
Not flashy, not the greatest range, but a smart player. Sure-handed. We heard some comparisons to Peralta when we asked about Jung Ho Kang earlier this season when he plays short. Two-0 on Kang. Trying to get something going here with 2 outs and nobody on. Down 4. Three balls, no strikes.
Be taking all the way here.
a 4-pitch walk. A 2-out base runner brings up Marte. Segrist has done good work against the Pirates, allowing 1 run in 6 innings. 1 earned run in 6 innings this season. Tomorrow night starters, and again televised on ESPN. We invite you to tune up the radio, 93.7 The Fan, and our radio network affiliates. Garrett Cole against John Lackey, as Cole looks for his 16th win. John Lackey, the veteran. John Lackey will be possibly looking for a series win, as it's looking as though the Pirates are going to split the first 2 games of this one. Jake Arrieta won his 18th. The Cubs right-hander to lead the majors. Madison Bumgarner has 16 wins, and Garrett Cole will look to match Bumgarner with his 16th win tomorrow night.
Well, you know, he's looking forward to getting back out there.
Seager strikes out a pair. Scoreless top of the 8th. 4-0 Cardinals. On Monday with an afternoon game, Labor Day from Cincinnati. Join us as the Pirates and Reds meet starting at 12:30 with Pirates pregame, presented by WB Mason on Root Sports. Here in St. Louis, the Pirates trail the Cardinals 4-0. The Pirates and Reds, the first of a 3-game series, starting on Monday. Cincinnati Reds lost to the Milwaukee Brewers in the first game of their day-night doubleheader, 8-6 earlier today. Now Joe Blanton going to pitch an inning here.
10 appearances, 3 wins, .89 ERA, and more strikeouts than innings. Opponents hitting 169, just 1 home run allowed for Joe. Pretty impressive work. Last time out, gave up a home run in Milwaukee. 2 innings of work.
Just another one of Neil Huntington's great pickups. he will admit that his first big trade involving Brandon Moss was not one of his best. Didn't work out. It was a blockbuster deal. Moss coming over from the Red Sox. Neil Huntington started his position as general manager on September 25th, 2007. And the following summer, before the deadline, he had really one big chip to deal, and that was Jason Bay, and Moss goes down on strikes.
And look at the pitch location. Yeah, you think it's a little hard to see right now. And Joe Blanton nowhere near the strike zone. The big curveball way out in front was Brandon Moss. Not only is it tough to see, I mean, Joe Blanton has good deception, hides the ball, been getting a lot of swings and misses.
Yadier Molina 0 for 3. Oh and 2. Ray Searage saw Charlie Morton have just one little hiccup in the second inning. A 1-out walk and then hitting John Jay. But he got that bouncing ball. There's a broken bat roller to first. Easy play. And if that ball doesn't take that wicked hop, it's a routine out, but Harrison has to jump up off balance deep behind the bag, throw one hopper to Michael Morse. That ball hits something. Morse couldn't pick it. 2-run score.
It's a whole different ball game. We're probably sitting here at 0-0 right now.
Wong takes ball one. Walked twice against Morton. And goes the other way. He's on base for the third time in this game. A 7-game hitting streak for him. Trevor Rosenthal, not a save situation, but needs some work, so he'll be pitching the ninth for the Cardinals. Mark Reynolds will pinch hit for Kevin Segrist. Runner takes off. Easy steal for Colton Wong.
Big jump. 5 steps before that ball was released. Chris Stewart made a heck of an effort right there.
They might challenge that. No, not going to.
Chris Stewart didn't think he had a chance. Surprised he threw it and made it look very, very close.
So 0-1 count on Reynolds and in scoring position. And Wong will take off for third. Wild pitch has him now 90 feet away.
Curveball out in front of the plate. Good job by Stewart. Wong breaks right away. Again, kind of like the play earlier, we saw it there. If you have to slide, you shouldn't go. Shouldn't be close with 2 outs.
Popped up, headed toward the seats. One ball, 2 strikes. Two count on Reynolds. Matt Carpenter on base 3 times in this ball game with a couple of hits, a walk, and a 2-run homer. 2-run homer made it 4-0 in the 7th. That bet he made with Adam Wainwright in spring training, according to the story the other day by Derek Gould of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, as Jonathan Broxton joins Rosenthal. Carpenter was speaking openly during the spring around his teammates about how he was going to hit 20 homers. Wainwright said no way. So if you hit 20 homers, I'll buy you a golf cart. Well, he did. And TCU purple, Carpenter's alma mater. The 20 home run mark last Sunday. Adam Wainwright, who is still on the disabled list and is starting to run after the Achilles injury. There it was yesterday, delivered to Matt Carpenter. There's ball 4 on Mark Reynolds.
What do you do with the golf cart?
I guess he said he's going to take it tailgating during the offseason to TCU games.
Well, I guess, I guess if you have a big old pad, nice estate with a bunch of land, I guess a golf cart would be useful.
Not like a scooter, which is a bit more useful.
Scooters can get you at least to and from the parking lot. You have a parking spot for a golf cart.
Matt Holliday right there next to Adam Wainwright. Peter Borges pops this ball up toward the seats. Long run for Mercer and runs out of room. Won the count on Borges, his first at bat. And on the pinch run for Greg Garcia. And trotted home on the Carpenter home run. Towards center field, McCutcheon over. Borges lines out to center. Pirates need a big 9th inning. Trying to pull something off here against Trevor Rosenthal and the Cardinals. more beautiful shots from our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. There's a cool looking shot. On a hot afternoon, the Cardinals leading 4-0. The 15th game of the season series. Cardinals 3 outs away from winning their 8th game this year against Pittsburgh and going back to 6.5 up. And the National League Central, Trevor Rosenthal, not a save situation. 2 blown saves, both against the Pirates. Michael Morse leads off, takes ball 1. Rosenthal is second in the league behind Mark Melancon in save situations.
Now behind the count 2-0, looking for base runners.
Been a while since Rosenthal was out there. Monday against the Nationals, his last appearance.
Ducking out of the way from that pitch.
Three and 2 the count.
Pretty close pitch, but just off the outside edge. And Morse getting an opportunity here to face the righty.
Down on strikes.
A little surprised that Morse would lead off against Rosenthal here.
No pinch hitter. One up and one down. Here's Sean Rodriguez. Of course, the Pirates have a full bench. Pedro Alvarez, Gregory Polanco, Travis Snyder, Jeff Decker, all left-handed hitters. Neil Walker. Walker is a .417 career hitter against Rosenthal. Alvarez 1 for 9 lifetime against him. He is on deck with 1 out.
Yeah, that's very interesting as to why. You know, bench full of lefties against one of the better closers.
Strikes out looking. Well, Clint Hurdle might say, if we asked him, well, right-handed hitters bat better against Rosenthal than do lefties.
Yeah.
Lefties hit just 167 against him. Walker bats, and this crowd, a sellout crowd of 45,139, bringing the season attendance to over 3 million for the 12th straight year. Watching their Redbirds and this pitching staff once again do a number on an opponent. John Lackey will go tomorrow against Garrett Cole.
And I think it's a huge game tomorrow. It'd be a lot to ask to think that a team with under it'll be 27 games left after tomorrow night's game to think that you can come back from 7.5 down against the best team in baseball.
And Neil Walker steps right up there and delivers on a 2-0 pitch.
Once again, Pirate pinch hitters have been quite impressive. I want to say it's 7 for the last 9.
I believe so. Pedro Alvarez now to pinch hit. Walker will trot to second. Wild pitch. Pirates trying to avoid being shut out again. They were blanked against the Rockies on Sunday. This would be the 10th time they were shut out this season. No surprise that the Cardinal pitching staff is up there in terms of shutouts, having blanked opponents 14 times. Dodgers have 18 shutouts, the Giants 16. Garrett Cole tomorrow night. Three and one. Full count.
Pedro doesn't swing through too many fastballs that are in the strike zone. 98 from Rosenthal, and you know, pretty much challenged Pedro. Pedro makes a lot of pitchers pay for that pitch.
3-2. And a base hit. That will end the shutout bid. And Pedro Alvarez will have himself a pinch hit RBI single, bringing home Neil Walker. It is 4-1.
Hard to do. Throw a ball by him twice, a fastball. This is actually a better pitch, a better location. Down and away, look at that, right on the edge at 99, and Pedro shortens up and finds a hole.
Josh Harrison needs to get on and give Gregory Polanco a chance. Polanco comes out on deck. Ball one. Pirates had two of their most dramatic come from behind wins in recent memory at PNC Park against these Cardinals just before the All-Star break. And Yadier Molina going to go out and talk with Rosenthal. Polanco hoping to get a shot.
I almost think that J-Hay would be taking all the way here.
2-0. Two balls and a strike. Pirates beat Rosenthal on that Sunday night before the All-Star game on the Gregory Polanco RBI single, scoring 3 in the bottom of the 10th to win it 6-5 after the Cards had scored 2 in the top of the 10th. Now 3-1. It was the night after the Pirates had tied the game in the bottom of the 10th on that Saturday night against Rosenthal. A triple by Jung Ho Gong and a one-out hit by Francisco Cervelli. Chris Stewart, rather. 3-2 now. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Everybody on their feet. J-Hay trying to stay alive.
He does, and Polanco will bat. Well, the Pirates with a shot bring the tying run to the plate. And Mike Matheny going to come out and talk to Rosenthal. This was the game we're talking about. Polanco against Rosenthal, and a wild walk-off just before the All-Star break. The 10th inning RBI single by Gregory Polanco off Trevor Rosenthal.
Yeah, Matheny cannot be happy right now out there talking with Rosenthal. He does not want to see. He didn't want to see Polanco up there. He definitely doesn't want to see McCutchen up there.
Polanco, who has hit the ball hard over the past handful of ball games, but not a lot to show for it. He was 0 for 23 before his 8th inning single off the umpire last night. The second base umpire Quinn Wolcott that robbed Polanco of an RBI. There's the ump. Well, batting for Mercer is Gregory Polanco.
He can reach. It gets very interesting with that man. 2 up next.
After the first 2 men struck out against Rosenthal. And ball 1.
A little concerned.
Polanco 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter. Ball 2.
Let's see again. And Molina's not even messing around either. He's set up right down the middle. He's not sitting on corners.
Strike in there.
That's a gutsy call.
Away from the fastball.
That's a gutsy call by Yadier Molina, thinking, hey, I can't get my closer to throw a fastball for a strike, so we'll go with a changeup. And look at there. And he's able to throw it in there.
Hit foul the other way. And back with a fastball there. Now 2-2 on Polanco.
And once again, down to the last striker, the Pirates.
Young Bucco fan doing his part. A young Pirate trying to do his part. Gregory Polanco. Two and two, 2 on, down 3. Got him, and the Cardinals even the series. The Pirates fall back to 6.5 behind St. Louis. Rosenthal ends up striking out the side. The Pirates get 1, but we take a look at the Central Division standings now, and the Cubs just 3 back.
Yeah, well, it's one of those games where you just got a good pitching duel, you know, a bit of a break for the Cardinals in the 2nd inning to put them up. Jaime Garcia was outstanding. A little drama at the end. Bucks trying to mount a rally and a comeback, but you know, you kind of expect it. You know, this team back and forth, Cardinals and Pirates, and pretty close to a must-win tomorrow.
Yep, sets up a big one tomorrow night, and they'll go back down to the studio. Dan